Hello, everyone. I am Tracy Wallace, the Director of Marketing over at MarketerHire, the #1 digital marketing talent platform. Our mission is to make great marketing accessible to all. Let's talk about how we actually do that. So we match brands, typically direct-to-consumer and technology companies, to experienced and pre-vetted freelance marketers, typically within 2 days. Most projects can kick off within the week. There are no long-term contracts, no long-term commitments. All we require is at least $1,500 per month per marketer to get started. Plus, there are discounts available, so if you hire someone part-time or full-time, you can get a reduction in cost there, or if you hire more than one marketer at a time, you can also get a reduction in cost. Companies like Netflix, Allbirds, AngelList, Quip, Tushy, thousands more now use MarketerHire, and they do so for 3 main reasons. Let's chat through those guys real quick. So first and foremost is labor force flexibility. So with us, you can scale your team up or down, extend the bandwidth of your internal team, or fill vacancies due to parental leave or other really important employee life events without leaving any money on the table. Plus, with the great resignation happening and more than 50% of freelancers currently working full-time considering quitting to go freelance, freelance, plain and simple, gets you the access you need to the best talent, risk-free. Second, speed at scale. You can fast track your marketing projects, see results this quarter, and get a leg up on your competition right now. This is crucial as the privacy-first web changes what we've known about marketing attributions and strategies over the last decade. Performance marketing simply isn't the silver bullet that it used to be. And brand marketing is becoming more and more important. Now is the time to invest, though, because unlike performance marketing, brand marketing doesn't see results like tomorrow. Brand marketing has to build and iterate and grow over time in order to really see the best results there. Finally, the third main reason folks use us is to innovate and iterate. So you can expand into new channels, bring on top strategists to brainstorm new go-to-market strategies and angles, and just really kind of access a hive mind of, like what you might get at an award-winning agency without the fees, contracts, or middlemen. In other words, freelancers come with experience from brands at your stage and can help you implement strategies they have seen work fast. And you aren't paying an insane amount to get access to them like you would in an agency. Instead, you hire them, you pay their hourly rate, and then once the project is finished, you move on. Everyone happier and healthier for the work done. So try us out. It's risk-free. If you aren't happy with your marketer, you can cancel after the first 5 hours and get your money back. We don't think you'll be disappointed though. Brands like House of Wise and Burt's Bees all use us, often coming back for more marketers after the current freelancer finishes up that project. So we like to think that we are a crucial part of how fast-growing direct-to-consumer companies can keep that breakneck speed without burning their teams out in the process. So get matched for free this week. See what MarketerHire can do for you.
So now I'm going to introduce Tracy Wallace from MarketerHire. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hi, I am doing well. I would be lying if I said that I was able to listen and watch that all at the same time. I pulled my earbuds out as it was happening so that I couldn't hear it. It's always so weird to see yourself played back at you.
Oh, well, I thought you had such great insight on the industry and how to hire. And this is such a huge, it's such a huge growth industry. So my first question for you is, what are the most popular marketing positions you guys are hiring for right now?
So MarketerHire is, as you just heard, a two-sided marketplace. So we have companies on one side and pre-vetted marketers on the other. Now we place people for freelance roles. So that's hourly, part-time, even full-time if you need it. The most common role, MarketerHire is still pretty new. We're about 2.5 years old. And the most common role that companies come to us looking for is growth marketer. And that is for a lot of reasons. One big reason I think though, is that growth marketers today are kind of like modern marketing managers. They are those people who can wear a lot of the different hats versus, hiring a content marketer who can go really deep on content, an SEO marketer who can go really deep on SEO, so on and so forth. So a lot of folks will kind of come in, hire that growth marketer to come up with a quick little strategy and then begin executing on things, and see if they can see some of that return. However, as this privacy first web, kind of comes to life. So that's with Apple's, iOS update and, the restrictions on, like Facebook, for instance, now has a 7-day attribution window rather than the 30 to 60 that they had before. We are seeing a lot of people come in and hire brand marketers, mostly to build up their brand, figure out, who am I? What is the purpose? Starting to hire more social media marketers as well. But we are seeing that shift from 2.5 years of very strong growth marketer preference and even paid search and paid social preference to folks really moving a little bit over to that brand marketing, social media marketing, more owned channel marketer specializations.
So, there are some big changes happening right now in D2C, right? You touched on a few of them, but I would love for, those who don't know, and especially for our brands and brand executives, what are the big changes that, people should be aware of?
Yeah, well, so one of the main big changes that's happening right now is this privacy first web, right? So that is, marketing for the last decade has been a performance marketing driven decade. What do they call it? The age of the algorithm, right? And we are moving into a new era where, the last decade, at the beginning of it, people could launch Facebook ads and become millionaires, entrepreneurial millionaires overnight. That wasn't true anymore by 2015. So don't worry, you aren't behind by any means if that wasn't you. Those algorithms changed really quickly, but this world of, immediate attribution, being able to put $1 in and see $2 out immediately. This last decade in marketing was the only time we've seen that happen in marketing. Prior to that, brands were measuring brand lift and, it would take them months to understand if a campaign had really worked. And we are about to move back into that world again, where, focusing on retention is going to be really important, focusing on referral programs is going to be really important, and your brand overall and understanding brand penetration, brand awareness, and brand sentiment, typically through, consumer survey tools. I think those are the things that are going to become far more important in the next decade.
So what I love about MarketerHire is that you service, what the stage of business that you service is small, medium, and then you also can grow with your clients because you have some massive clients. You can name a couple, and I know you did in the video, but name them again. But how do people work with you from the start? Especially with small brands, say they're, a 3-person team, but with big dreams to, scale really, really quickly.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So MarketerHire has really tried to make marketing, really good expert marketing, as accessible as possible, because marketing, hiring really great marketers is expensive. And not every brand can do that, right? And then also not every brand has the network or the connections to know really great marketers, nor do they necessarily know how to even vet if they're good at the thing that they're saying they're good at. Love my marketers, but man, there are a lot of people who can market themselves well, but then maybe can't do the actual work. And I'm sure everybody's experienced that. So MarketerHire does require that $1,500 minimum per month. But past that, we offer discounts if you hire, 2 marketers at a time, if you hire, part-time, all of that jazz. And typically the way it works for startups coming in is, we hop on a call with them and it's okay, first, do you have a marketer in-house? It can be helpful if you do, just because that person can oversee the process and help move things along. Also, though, not necessary. We work with founders who, like Superkin was building a brand that was just 2 founders and they were using us for all their marketers, right? So that is also possible. And it typically just starts with a call with one of our growth managers who understands, what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve. and what your budget is. Maybe your budget means you could hire a growth marketer and an email marketer at the same time. But we often find with startups is that they can only afford to hire one marketer at a time. And that's fine. That's the beauty of freelancers. You can hire one person for 1 month, 3 months, and then move on to the next thing. So we kind of help build out a plan for you where it's like, okay, for the next, quarter with the holidays coming up, it might be really beneficial to make sure that all of your email streams like look great and are beautiful. Let's get an email marketer in. And then, okay, cool. Let's bring a growth marketer in who, as people are coming more to the site, can be running a bunch of, conversion rate optimization tests to make sure that you're, getting people even into those funnels that now are optimized. So that's usually how it begins.
I love it. And what's a good balance of in-house versus freelance? And how have you worked with people in the past? Say you have a great, say somebody already has a great marketer in-house, what's the way, because I'm sure there's so many different parts of marketing, social, email, growth,
so
you name it.
It's going to depend, right? So most of the brands we work with do have at least one full-time marketer in-house. And they're hiring us to like help fulfill for the spots that they aren't an expert at. I mean, marketers, this is notorious in the industry, right? Or at least for marketers, is marketers are often required to wear a million different hats and do all the different things. That is a recipe for burnout. It is a recipe for mistakes to be made. And it's just it's not the best way to utilize marketing expertise, right? Instead of having someone come in and write the copy and test it out and send the emails and do the workflows and figure out the branding and the targeting, all of that is a lot. It's far better just to have someone in-house who can figure out, what are these priorities, who can push projects over to the freelancers. And those freelancers can be those more specialized people. So ideally your in-house person, if you only have one, is more generalized. And then you're looking for specialized freelancers who can help on specific channels like social or TikTok or, whatever it might be, email marketing, SMS marketing, right? And that in-house generalist can kind of oversee it all. And if they have the capabilities, really help to make sure that all of that stays on brand and is, and that they're measuring it to make sure these activities are working, that we're getting the value out of these freelancers, so on and so forth.
It's great. And then how do marketing agencies play into in-house versus, freelance?
So marketing agencies are beautiful, great, amazing. If you use them, that's fantastic. We position ourselves a little bit against them because marketing agencies historically charge very large fees up front. It's hard to cancel with them without, having to pay those contract fees. If you succeed, then you typically end up paying more in fees, not less, which can be weird. And all of that is happening where, you have this account manager who's kind of your face, but really it's more junior employees who are actually doing the work. And so we like to think that we are taking all of that massive cost that an agency might have and literally just connecting you with the person who does the work, right? Like the person who is able to do the things. Now, some people really, really like that, with agencies, one of the big benefits often touted is that you have this hive mind. They work with a lot of different brands and they know a lot of different things. Freelancers, the exact same thing. They work with a lot of different brands. They know a lot of different things. Again, we like to think we're that cheaper option, not to discount the brand and call it cheap by any means, but it is often a far more accessible option for folks.
But what I love, and again, I know our time's up, but we started working with you guys and you guys immediately, found us some incredible marketers that had the background that, we're an event company, so we want event marketers. I mean,
right.
So just really high quality, just in our first time, using you guys. And I'm excited for our community to use you guys, especially at 15, when you starting with $1,500 a month, it's really huge. So
yeah, that can get you some good work
in the chat to our community. And thank you so much, Tracy. We love working with you. We love MarketerHire.